Okay.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so next, I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Dutchess County LDC Finance Committee meeting. Jasmine, if you could take the roll call, please.
Kathy Bauer,
Here.
James McComb.
Here.
All right, so we have the minutes from the February 28th meeting. Are there any corrections that anybody was aware of? If someone would like to make a motion to approve the minutes,
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
and I will second that motion. Jasmine?
Kathy Bauer,
Approved.
James McComb.
Approved.
Any old business? All right, so we have the 2025 LDC proposed budget in front of us. Go through that.
Yeah. Wanted to bring it up. Get it
Okay.
here. So, I'm gonna, actually go through the 2024 estimated first and then go through the 2025. So in the 2024, the admin fee is based on the closing of the BAR 2024 bond earlier this year. That bond was for the construction of the Performing Arts Center. If you remember, in 2023, they came for both the what we call BAR 2023 and 24. 23 was for the dorms and 24 was for the Performing Arts Center. We did it as one transaction, but we knew ahead that there was going to be two different bonds. So that's the bond that closed earlier this year for that. And then it also includes the small amount of admin fee that we got for the Trinity Pauling transaction that occurred earlier this year. The $1,000 in 2024 was for the Trinity Pauling application. Number 3, compliance fee in 2024 was for the 7 projects that are subject for compliance fee. On the LDC side, the compliance fee is $500. Number 4, line item number 4, Dutchess County, that is the service contract that the LDC has with the county in 2024. That includes the $450,000 that we get for our annual service contract, plus the $7,500 that remained from the American Relief contract.
Right, but that, we don't have that anymore.
Yeah, we sent that down this year.
That's
Yeah.
part.
So, the DCIDA, that's that $200,000 that the IDA gives to the LDC for the service contract. The private sector that's income that we project that we get from the Business Excellence Awards. The WIB that's the rent and professional fees that we get for the Workforce Investment Board for co-locating with us. 8 is the local labor compliance. The only project that is currently subject to the local labor compliance is the BARD. So we expect that the reason why it's a little bit lower in 2025, we'll talk about that then, but is that the Performing Arts Center will be completed in the beginning half of, or not the dormitories will be completed before in 2025. Any questions before I go into expenditures? Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped interest. So interest for 2024 is what we think we'll get before the end of the year. And then I'm going to continue into expenditures for 2024. So audit is what's.
Yeah, but if we're lowering interest on the IDA, we should probably be lowering the interest on the LDC because we still are funding it. And we're going conservative where we went from like 120 to 60 or 115 to 60. So I think we should reduce the 80 to be conservative.
And we can do that. Do you want to do that now or when I go over? When I go.
Okay.
25.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So the audit cost for 2024 is our contract amount with RBT is actually $12,900, but then they charge us $1,000 to use software to calculate
The lease.
the lease.
Entry.
Oh, the lease
So-
thing, yeah.
So that's why it's 1390. So that's what that is. Computing consulting, that is just our contract and services we have with PCA, our IT company. And it also includes both, it includes an upgrade in our security. So that's why it's a little bit above budget. Dues, publications and subscriptions. We do expect to be higher than what we had budgeted. That is a result of a subscription for a analytics tool that we stopped using as of 12/31/23, but they didn't send us the bill until after we had closed the books of our 23, so we ended up paying that in 24. So that's why it's 4,000 above what was budgeted. Education and training is just education and training that the staff attends. Equipment, it's a little bit higher than budgeted because we have a new person on board, Peter, and just the cost of equipment for him. Events and is the Business Excellence Awards. We do expect to be a little bit above budget because the cost of the venue and the video production went up slightly. So, but we're still expecting to be under what we receive for private sector. Insurance is our, in 24 is our actual insurance cost. Marketing is what we expect to spend in marketing for the rest of the year, which will be slightly under budget. Office supplies, or miscellaneous and other is kind of a guesstimate. We don't, we put depreciation in that line item, but we won't know until the audit's done, so it's just kind of a guesstimate for end of year. Office supplies, again, a little bit higher than what we had budgeted because we have that extra person online. The payroll is, we're expect to be below budget on payroll for this year because the compliance person, we had budgeted for the compliance person to start in January, but it didn't start until August, so we have a little bit of savings there. The payroll tax is, aligns with our payroll. Our payroll fringe, again, is prorated for the start of that compliance person. Phone is slightly over budget due to the addition of the compliance officer, as well as we had some phone issues earlier this year, so we had an increase in service calls. So that's slightly above budget. Postage, we expect to be on budget, and printing as well. Most of that is related to the costs of we get from the BEAs, as well as we send a lot of our letters certified, return receipt, as well as overnight, so that's the cost we expect. Professional fees is the services provided by Staffline, which is our co-employer, our PEO, Capilino and Rothschild, and our local labor compliance, Loki Brill, as well as video recording services. Professional service contracts, that is the contracts that we have with our marketing firm, DCI, and WEDC, which is the Women's Enterprise Development Center, which is co-located with us. Just one thing with marketing is we are due to send an RFP out for our marketing, which we did last week, and we'll identify a new marketing firm potentially for next year. So
What did you send out?
an RFP for marketing
RFP,
services.
Okay.
Okay, I have a question,
Yes.
professional fees.
Yes.
The jump from 2023 to 2024, Loki Brill, is that because of them?
Yes.
Is that when we had to bring on?
That's when we brought them on, yeah.
Okay, mhm.
And also the number of projects that, so we had them in 2023, was the last part of 2023, and then in 2024, and then the amount of projects that came online in 2024. Then, number 29, real quick, is rent. This is the actual cash payment for our rent, not the new.
The new version.
Yeah,
Yes,
As being.
Yeah, which would be the amortization plus interest expense.
right, which will be reflected in line 19.
yes.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, and in our audit, so that's,
Yeah.
it won't match our audit amount. Trade shows, so, we, attended the, the amount of trade shows budgeted, we expect to, be slightly less than what was budgeted, but travel and meeting the cost of traveling and airfare has gone up, so we do expect to go, above budget in, by the end of the year, but, we did reduce the cost in 2024. Typically, travel and meeting has been hovering around 25,000, and so I reinstated that for 2025. Any questions for 2024 year end? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go down the 2025 proposed. So again, we don't have a project in the queue right now for the LDC. So the admin fee is based on the assumption that we'll see at least one project come through the LDC. So that's that 125. That application fee is again based on that one project. Compliance fees, we expect it to be the same that we did because we haven't, Dutchess County, we don't have the ARP contract anymore, so it goes down to that 450. I did put in a request to increase our service contract to 500,000. I had proposed some potential new programs, mostly on the side of entrepreneurship and kind of making that program a little bit more robust and expand it to a potential entrepreneurship program for high school students. But I don't know, I've been told that the county is not seeing a favorable budget, 2025 budget year. So I don't know how likely that my request will be fulfilled. So I made a conservative 450 because the IDA, again, that's our contract term amount, 200,000. Private sector is the revenue that we get from the BEAs. The WIB is the WIB contract. The amount is slightly lower because we did take a cubicle from the WIB for the compliance officer, so they're renting a little less space from us. So that's what accounts for the cost going down slightly. Other is the projected fees from the local labor compliance. As I said before, right now what's being monitored is the dormitories and the Performing Arts Center at Bard, but we expect that the dormitories construction will be completed in 2024, so that will kind of trail off, and it'll just be the Performing Arts Center. Number 10, any question? Oh, and then interest. So Jamie and Kathy.
Yes, I think we should lower it again. From what I can remember from looking at the statements, the balances are similar to the IDA. I would think 60 would be an appropriate figure again, Jamie?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Line item 10, and going down into expenditures, audit is 13,900. Again, it's that 12,000 plus the 1,000 for the software usage. $1,000 for board and committee, that is to pay for any potential supplies but mostly to pay for board training. So that's what that 1,000 is for. 15,000 is what we expect for our computer consulting. They have told us that our contract amount will go up in 2025. So that's, they haven't told us how much, but we just kind of guesstimated that that's what it will be. Dues and subscriptions, publications, 50,000, what we typically have budgeted. Education training, 4,000 for staff training. Equipment, we just increased it to 2,500 to accommodate any, I guess, just to be conservative. $65,000 under events, that is really costs related to the DEA. We kept it the same as 2020 year-end 2024 estimate. Insurance includes the crime bond and general liability. $50,000 for general marketing expenses. $2,000 for miscellaneous other depreciation. We don't historically include depreciation in this budget because that's determined by the audit. $5,000 for supplies. And then payroll is based on just the staff that's here, and we did increase it by 3.5% over what we expect a full year salary in 2024. It is typically a little bit higher than we historically increase it. Historically, we increased it by 3%, but we decided to increase it by 3.5% to stay consistent with the New York State Federal Labor Standard Act. That increases payroll by 3.5% every year. And so we thought we should stay in step with that. Otherwise, we may fall behind and have employees go under that exempt status. So that's the reason for the extra 0.5%. Payroll taxes, line item 22, align with the salary increases. The 168,000 in payroll fringe is calculated per employee, $24,000 per employee, which is our benefit amount. $7,000 is budgeted for our phone system and the maintenance of that. I'm sorry, I'm just like, postage and printing has stayed the same. Excuse me. Professional fees, that is the fees that we expect to get from staff line, our PEO, Capilino Rothschild, Loki Brill, and video recording of the meetings and public hearings.
Question.
Yes.
So the numbers from 24 to 25 for Capilino jumped like almost $6,000. Do we know, is there a reason why, or
So
are we allocating it differently between IDA and LDC, or?
yeah, so we're seeing a little bit more increase in our fees, and we're just being conservative in what we expect.
See if any came in.
Cause yeah, it went from 10 to 12 on the IDA. But most of the fees are reimbursed on the LDC side, right, by the,
So on the LDC side, those are fees that we pay,
yeah,
but that doesn't get reimbursed.
Right.
The projects pay for
Right.
Loki directly.
right.
So
So we anticipate them $8,000 more between the two for 2025?
10 to 12.
That's two, and then.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on it. I'm with you on the 8, yep.
Yeah,
Do we know?
Yeah, no, I don't see anything high coming in last year either, at
Okay,
the end of the year. It's just if there's, I don't know whether there's any,
So should we knock it down to
Yeah.
2,500?
yeah,
Just in case? I mean, there should be some more deals coming through next year
Yeah.
if the interest rates are dropping. On refinancing possibly, or somebody coming to us for money.
and then, the other one, the low brill, that's just based on the number of,
yeah. The
projects and
projects,
everything, yeah, okay.
So then are we gonna change that one number?
So we're just gonna change the Capolino to 2,500? Is that okay?
Yeah,
And then lower the 35 accordingly.
Yes.
Okay,
right.
All right. Then, professional service contracts. Is the the WEDC contract as well as marketing. The 29 rent is our actual cost. So trade show has been 10,000, which is what we had budgeted in 2024. We'll keep the same. And then I increased the travel and meeting to 25,000. To anticipate rising travel costs.
So the marketing, the $200,000, you said you're gonna put out an RFP for,
Yes.
and right now we've been with the firm in Albany that's,
Out of New York, so DCI.
DCI.
Yes. So we've been with them for 9 years.
right,
And so every 3 years,
Okay.
we're required to go out to bid. So it's, hard to say based on what we're gonna get, whether we'll remain with DCI or we'll move to a different firm.
are we comfortable with DCI?
Yeah, I mean, I will say that I'm very comfortable with DCI. I'm very happy with DCI. So I expect DCI to have a strong response.
Is there anybody local, more local, or
So,
not that size?
so that we don't have there isn't anyone local that can compete with the resources that DCI has. Also, the advantage of DCI is that they only do economic development
Yeah, I
and
think we discussed
tourism.
this.
And they're a full service firm, so they do both marketing and PR. What we find with the local firms is often they might do PR, but they don't do marketing, so they have to partner with a different firm.
Right,
are they the same firm that Duchess Tourism uses, or does Duchess Tourism use somebody else?
Duchess Tourism uses a different firm out of Buffalo, New York.
And have we approached them?
Yes, so they
Okay.
received the RFP as well, so.
Okay, good.
So yeah, so that's, any questions on the 24 and 25 for the LDC?
Not for me, I think we covered.
yep,
Okay.
All right, would someone be willing to make a proposal to present this at the next board meeting?
I'll make the proposal to present the LDC budget at the next board meeting.
I will second the motion.
Just trying to make sure I got my letters right.
Jasmine?
Kathy Bauer,
Approved.
James Cohen.
Approve.
Okay, if there's nothing else, we are adjourned.